Okay, this is Joe Leigh here for SecondsOut. Ben Shalom's joining me here at Anfield. How are you? It's hot out here.
It's very hot. I've made a mistake. Definitely made a mistake. But no, amazing to be here. What a setting. Here in Liverpool, here at Anfield. Incredible. Ready for a big night on Saturday night. I think the city's ready for something and excited to get going.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to us about that main event. Obviously, Liam Smith back on Sky.
Well, it's just good to get going again. It feels like a new season. Obviously, we've been in Albania. We've had Bournemouth. AJ obviously fought on Sky recently, but this is a start of our second win. We've had that first year, and it's great to be back. Obviously, Liam Smith's a massive signing for us. There was under no illusions that we wanted the Eubank fight. We wanted that straight away if we could have had it. But obviously, there were easier fights out there for him, he will believe, and we hope that one still can happen. I think he wants world titles, he wants the big challenges. I think since the Kurbanov performance, where he came out with a win there, really, Fowler, Vargas showed his quality, showed he's at world level, so we're just proud to have him, proud to represent him. He's a massive name. I think we wanted to get him out in Liverpool very, very quickly, back on the Sky platform, get him in front of the audience again and ready for those big fights.
Do you think Liam Smith versus Chris is a tougher fight for Chris than Conor Benn? Is that what you're suggesting?
Of course it is. I think everyone, Liam Smith obviously would still be coming up in weight, but not as much as Conor. And Liam's operated at world level. He's a former world champion, something that neither of those fighters are. So I think, of course, that's a much tougher fight. But I can see obviously why Chris has done what he's done. But similarly, Hassan Wakino, he's reckless. If you watch any of his fights, he boxes orthodox southpaw. He's knocked people out. He's got power. He's a crazy guy. I mean, we've started to get to know him over the past few weeks. Liam's going to have to watch it. He can always get caught, and we've seen that, and he will come out swinging. But obviously, expect Liam, if he's fully focused, to do the business, and then we're on to better things. But it's a massive card here on Saturday. Obviously, a lot going on.
Yeah, I want to talk about the undercard, but sticking on Liam Smith, how soon do you think you could get to that world level? By the end of the year, do you think he'll be out again?
I think straight away. He's obviously highly ranked in all the governing bodies. If they're tied up, he wants the big fights. He wants the Eubank fights. He doesn't mind going up to 160. There's massive fights for him at middleweight as well. So I think we wanted to get him back on Sky. We wanted to get him in Liverpool, wanted to get him at the Echo. We had a massive card here on Saturday that we wanted him to headline, and that was it. And I think his next fight will be a world title or a super fight. Okay.
Tasha Jonas as well. Talk to us about her fight, obviously in Liverpool. Just what she'd like.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. I remember when we first signed her. Obviously, she was probably the best female talent we've ever had to not have won a world title at that stage. She got been so unlucky. I was saying up there, probably one of the most unlucky fighters in her career in terms of what happened with Terry Harper, her injuries. She became a mum at the start of her professional career. She always was in Katie Taylor's shadow. Took her to a points decision, a very, very close points decision, and never really got a chance. And she had to go up 3 weight divisions to do it, and she did it. And it was a bit of a risk for us because it was a tough fight, and we knew if she'd gone in there and she'd been hurt or it hadn't gone as well as we wanted it to go, we'd have been criticised. And she did it. She knocked her out, and it was an incredible performance. And that's what happens, I think, when Tasha's under pressure, she performs. People thought maybe that was a one-off at 154. The opportunity came. We wanted the Hannah Rankin fight. I don't think Hannah wanted that fight. And again, she's taken an easier fight, I think, in Terry Harper, what she'll believe. And so it came to, do we drop down or do we try and unify? And Patricia Bergol, her fight fell through against Brackhouse. It presented an unbelievable opportunity to win the WBC belt. I wasn't sure whether Joe and Tasha would want it, in the sense this isn't a natural weight and this is a genuine world champion. And as usual, Tasha's taken it. She is a warrior. She is a champion. And it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. Patricia's a technical fighter as well. It is a genuine 50-50 that. She's a genuine 154 world champion. It's a tough test. And it's what more, you can't expect an easy ride in a unification bout. It's a tougher fight than Hannah Rankin, but it's a massive fight.
Brackhouse, how close was that fight?
I think, I don't know. I think something about money, maybe struggling to get the money together for the fight. I don't know who was supposed to promote it, but I remember we looked at that fight before it was made for Tasha. We thought we were going to get the Hannah Rankin fight, but things happen for a reason, and now we get a chance at the WBC belt, which is the belt that everyone wants. And it's a tough fight, but I'm really looking forward to it. Tasha's in great shape, so is Patricia. It's a proper fight.
You got a couple of flies. Yeah, you might not want to watch this back.
No, you can't. Is it bad?
No, it's all right. No, it's all good. Yeah, Fraser Clark, Adam Azim, good undercard as well. We always see Adam Azim on these undercards. The undercards that obviously some of the better ones this year with Carnbrook is a good example. He's always on the big cards for you here.
Say that again. Sorry.
Adam Azim always on.
Yeah, Adam wants to be active. Been a lot of hype about him. He is considered one of the best prospects in British boxing. We believe he is the best one out there. So does Shane, so does Barry, so does Sky. We think he's going to be a young world champion, but he needs to be fighting regularly. He needs to get tests. Unfortunately, his opponent pulled out late. We've had to bring someone in. He's never been stopped, but it's not the opponent we wanted, but it keeps Adam active. He'll be looking to put on a performance. He's a Liverpool fan. It's a dream come true for him to be at Anfield today. So, yeah, again, brilliant to get him out. Unbelievable to get Fraser Clark back out. Probably becoming a very, very, very popular heavyweight in Britain. The fans love him. He's obviously been doing a lot on the punditry as well, and he seems to be growing with that. But amazing performance last time out. Given that he was injured, given that he had to come back, he fought a tough Bracamonte and got him out of there. Looked impressive. Excited for him because the heavyweight division, as we know, everything's happening. There's so much opportunity. There's so many fighters looking for their opportunities. We've got Parker in a big fight this month. We've got Hughie Fury and Michael Hunter the month after. Everything's up for grabs. World titles are up for grabs, world title opportunities, and I think he's going to come into it just at the right time. He's 30 years old now. In 18 months, 2 years, what's the heavyweight scene going to be like? He wants to be a part of that.
Yeah, of course. On the Joe Parker fight, how important is this to his career? We've seen him, he's already been a world champion in the past. How important is a win? Because if he loses, I'm not sure how he'd handle that, what he could do next.
It's everything in the sense that he's been a world champion before. I think in the past year or two he's wanted to improve. He wanted to go back to the drawing board. I think he was running out of ideas. He wanted a new trainer. He came over to the UK. He's been with Andy Lee, I think, near enough 12 months now. He obviously looked a lot better in that Chisora fight, but now it's a big opportunity, and that's why we're taking the fight. We're extremely confident. It's an interim world championship title now as well. The winner's going to be able to fight for a world title. We think he's all wrong for Joe Joyce, but yeah, there's a lot on the line for both guys. Where does Joe Joyce go if he doesn't win? And Jose Parker's a lot younger than Joe Joyce. I'm sure Jose Parker will come again. I think he feels like he's a young heavyweight and he's got miles on the clock and he'll come again. So there's a lot on the line, and credit for both guys obviously getting in there. We know it was the fight that the fans wanted to see. We know it was the fight that everyone was waiting for, and we've got it. And yeah, massive fight.
Cool. And then on the top of the heavyweight division, it looks like Fury Usyk may happen at the end of this year. Same, honestly. If Fury Usyk was to happen this year or early next year, how would you see that going? With obviously Usyk fighting recently, some say AJ was better in the second fight.
How do I see the Fury
Usyk?
I think Fury's so big. They're both natural fighters. I think the difference between them and the rest of the heavyweights is they are born to fight. They've been fighting since a very young age. They know how to fight. They know how to move around the ring. They both box like they're not heavyweights. And but because a good big guy always beats a good little guy, and I think they're both unbelievable fighters. But you have to say that Tyson Fury at 6'9", and with the range he's got and the boxing style that he's got, it'd be incredible if Alexander could do it, but it might just be a step too far given how good Tyson is.
Is it only a matter of time until we see Boxer out in the Middle East, in Saudi or Abu Dhabi?
Look, you know what? We love British boxing. I get a buzz off going to Bournemouth and Liverpool and Newcastle and Birmingham and Manchester, and British boxing needs it. I mean, you see all these fights going out there, but what about the sport here? What about the new future superstars? And we think we're the most active promoter now in the UK. We've got a hugely busy season coming up. The stable's starting to come together. It's really, really important to the lifeblood of the sport to have fights over here, to have big fights over here, to have Shields Marshall over here, to have Taylor Cattrall over here, to have the biggest fights in the UK, and also just to be developing talent. And Liverpool's got Fraser Clark and Adam Azim, and what good is it going to be for them to go and fight in the Middle East and not have the fans and not have the audience and not grow their profiles? And that's something that ourselves and Sky, since we started, have been extremely committed to. That's why the tournaments are existing. That's why we signed all the Olympians. We think we're the best place to be in British boxing for British fighters, and that's where our focus is.
I just want to end off on last weekend, the celebrity influencer boxing, the KSI show. I'm sure you got to see bits of it. Obviously, there wasn't much to report on the main event, KSI wiping over two opponents. But did you see it? What did you make of him being able to sell O2 out?
Well, KSI, I think if he was swimming or playing table tennis or anything, he'd sell the O2 out. So I don't think he's going to have a trouble selling anything out. Yeah, obviously we know the power of YouTube. We've seen it before. We saw it again. It's nothing new. It's good for boxing. It's good that they're deciding to fight and rather than do anything else. And I think it does have good effects on the sport. But yeah, KSI is a phenomenon. I think he could sell anything out.
Thanks.